Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to Angular, where we will talk about the routing in Angular. Okay. So in this session, mainly we will talk about the introduction part of Angular routing. We will just discuss the theoretical thing like what is routing, why do we need routing, and what are the core building blocks of routing that we can use or that we will be discussing while learning about the routing. Okay. But before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released session first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on the routing part, but prior to that you should know about the other basic stuff that we did in a sequential manner. And for the sequential content, you can refer the Tech Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. So from there you can refer the course. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing is, what is routing? So if someone asks you what is routing, so you can simply say that routing is how Angular helps us navigate between different views or pages inside a single page application. So we know that Angular we are using for preparing the single page application. Now to navigate from one page to another in a single page application, then in that case, if you want to navigate from one page to another, then in that case you will need a routing. So that mechanism, or you can say that the process where Angular is helping us to navigate between different views pages inside a single page application, is known as routing. Now if we talk about the normal website, so in normal website, like when we click on a normal link, what it do, it reloads the whole page. Okay, so when you click on a link, we know about the anchor tag, right? So with anchor tag you can create a link, but when you create a when you click on that link, it will reload the entire application, and that is a drawback of it, right? Because if you are reloading again and again entire application, it will impact the performance, right? But in case of Angular, what routing will help there, like it swaps out the components without reloading the whole application. So in that case, it will just reload the specific page, or it will not reload the entire application. It will just impact the thing that are undergo of changes. Okay. So that is why we are saying that in normal website it reload the entire application, but in case of Angular it simply reload the required thing, not the entire application. And that is the reason it makes it faster as well as smoother, because if it is not reloading again and again, then it is for sure the faster and the smoother one. Now if you want to relate it with any real world analogy, so you can relate it with this example, like routing is a Google map for your application. Okay, so usually how we use Google map, we put our destination and location, right? And then we simply, Google map will help us to navigate from one place to another, right? So basically if you compare it with the Angular routing, so routing is also a kind of Google map for your application, because it decides which road or component to show based on the address, or you can say the URL. Okay, that is why we are saying that it will help us to decide the way or the path. So these are the all pointers that will help you to understand what is routing. Now once we clear that what is routing, then it's time to understand why do we need routing, right? Because routing is clear like what it is, but do we really need it? So to understand this thing, let's go through these pointers. So here first thing is to build a multi-page like apps using a single index.html. Okay, so if you want to create a multi-page like application using just a single index.html, then in that case you will use the routing. Similarly, user expect different pages like home, about, contact, and like this. Okay, so in this situation, when user is expecting multiple pages, so if I explain you routing again, so just assume there is a website, there we have multiple tabs like home, about, contact, feedback, something like that. Okay, so in that case like user can click on any of the button and it will automatically take them to the that particular page without reloading the entire system. So that is the routing. Okay, so if user is expecting such kind of tabs, then we will use the routing. Then again the third point is routing help us to connect URLs to the component. Yes, that is true, because when you are clicking on any of the URL, then it is taking you to the any particular page, right, or a component. So that is why we are saying that routing helps us to connect URL to the components. Then we have fourth point, it makes apps more user friendly and shareable with the links. Yes, if you are using routing, then it will make it more user friendly, because user can click on the tabs as per their requirement, and it will show them a smooth transition from one page to another without reloading the entire application, and it also make it shareable with the link. Okay, fine. So I think now it is clear, like, why do we need routing. Now the next thing is what are the core building blocks of the routing. Okay, so first thing is router module. I'm sure like most of you not even know about these things, but don't worry, like these are the some popular terms when we are talking about the routing, so that we will be discussing in the upcoming session when we are doing the practical. Okay, but for now we are just taking going through the introduction part. Okay, so router module, Angular's built-in module that enables routing. Okay, so it's a built-in module that enable the routing, and maybe like in upcoming session we will also go through the modernized approach. So maybe some of the things you will see that it is not there, but that is completely fine. We are just talking about, because we should know about the history also, like what were the things earlier and now and in the future, right? Likewise we have route array. So it's a list of object mapping URLs to the component. So when you want to map the URLs to the component, then you will use the route array. Then we have example, like this kind of example we will see, like path, home component and home component. Okay, another thing is router outlet. Yes, it is also a popular term when you are talking about the routing, because it's a placeholder in your HTML where the chosen component will be appear. Okay, so here the chosen component will be appear. Then we have router link, which is nothing but a directive used in template to navigate a router. This kind of anchor tag you will use, where it will help us to navigate from one link to particular page or a component. Okay, so these are the things that we consider as a core building block of routing. Then we have types of routing. So in case of types of routing, we have three types generally, like eager loading, where all routes and components loaded when the app starts. Then we have lazy loading, where load routes only when user navigate to them, like it saves the performance. Okay, and then we have child route, which means nested route inside a parent component. So if in a parent component there is another route, and then inside that route there is another route, so this kind of nested thing can be considered as a child routes. Okay, now we have life cycle of routing. Okay, like how it is working. So user, like firstly what will happen, like user will click on a link or a type of URL. Okay, because it sometimes it also type a URL in a URL box, right? So user clicks a link or type a URL, then Angular's router matches the URL to route it in a route array. Okay, then a router load the corresponding component to the router outlet. We know that it will help us to show the page, right, to navigate that page. Then we have URL. So URL update in the browser, so you can bookmark or share it also. Yeah, that is also the thing, like it will help us to store the URL. Okay, fine. Then we have benefits of routing. Like what are the benefits of routing? So it no full page reload, that is the first benefit, because if you are using this routing, then app is like a native app. Then the second thing is URL based navigation, easy to bookmark and share. Third point is it can protect route from with guards like auth guard. Okay, so you can protect your route as well. Then we have next thing, that is it can pass the data between routes with parameter or a query string, that we will see in the upcoming sessions, like how it sends the data, how it how we can call it without any data. So these all things we will be discussing. Then if you want to recall all the analogy again, so you can assume that just think of your Angular app as a shopping mall. Okay, we have a Angular app that we are considering as a shopping mall. Then in that shopping mall, each shop is a component, and routing is a signboard, and maps, like it routing and signboards and maps telling you where to go, like from URL to the component. And router outlet is a doorway where the right shop is shown when you follow a sign. So these are the all pointers that will help us to understand the basics of routing. From next session we will talk about the practical things. Okay, so yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.